Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
Point 2, with the reopening of Ontario Act, and I'm just going to provide you a copy of that.
Thank you.
So you are being charged with that. You're not obliged to say anything. However, if you'd like to, please know that you can have that get used against you as evidence. Do you understand?
I understand that as soon as this goes to court, it will be thrown out because what is happening here is unconstitutional.
Sounds to me like you intend to keep fighting.
I will keep fighting. Most definitely. I am staying open. I'm open now. And I feel like I have no choice.
Do you remember the case of Alexandra Stewart from Stewart's Decorating in North Bay, Ontario? We first came to know Spunky Alex when she reached out to us through our special portal for businesses willing to defy the lockdown, iwillopen.com. She submitted her business there, and we decided to tell her story. But then she received a lockdown ticket even before we could bring our video with her to air. She received a $750 ticket under the Reopening Ontario Act, which is the act they used to close Ontario. I know, it's crazy. Even then, after a ticket and police showing up at her home, Alexandra refused to lock her doors, and we offered to help her through our civil liberties project, fightthefines.com, where we help people and churches and small businesses like Alex's fight their lockdown tickets in court at no cost to them by putting them in touch with top civil liberties lawyers. Now, it's been a couple of months since we first talked to Alex, so I thought we'd have her back on Rebel News to tell us what it's like to be defying the lockdown still in what I think is the strictest lockdown jurisdiction in probably all of the free world. Yes, I'm talking about Ontario.
We have implemented the strictest measures in all of North America.
Here's Alex to tell us what it's like. Give us a bit of an update to what's happened to you since we talked to you last, or I guess since Tamara talked to you last, because a lot has happened in your case.
Yes, a lot has happened. And I don't even know if I can keep track of it properly. I received, I believe, 8 summons to appear in court. A few of them for having my store open. And a couple of them for being at the rallies here in North Bay. Yeah.
So you're receiving summonses to appear in court because you are protesting government decisions to not just close your business, but everybody else's too.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. And the latest thing that happened to me was that on Wednesday of last week, after the health unit here in North Bay had received notification of my appeal for my S-22 court order. The public health unit made an announcement, put it on their website, sent it out to all of the media, telling everyone that about this order and that I was to be shut down immediately.
Now, for people who are from outside of Ontario just looking in, tell us what these restrictions are currently like on your store.
Well, that's the confusing part, really, because I've never had a conversation with the health unit. They've never explained what it is they think I'm doing wrong. They've never outlined what I should be doing differently. They've never given me disclosure. On March 5th, I emailed the Crown Attorney here in North Bay and asked for disclosure. I've heard nothing since then. And frankly, it's all confusing. We're supposed to be completely shut down. In Ontario, we're now in the longest lockdown, I believe, in the world. So it's crazy stuff.
But people can still go into a Walmart and a Costco and buy furniture there and homewares there. They just can't buy it from you. In your tiny store,
That's
where
right.
you can control everybody who's coming and going. You could lock the door if you wanted to quickly sanitize everything.
Absolutely.
But you're closed, but Walmart isn't.
Right. Yes, you can go into Walmart, you can go into the LCBO, Yes, but you can't go into my store.
What has been the reception from, I guess, your community, but also your customers to what's been happening to you at the hands of the government?
My customers have been really supportive, I have to say. Uh, Although, like, of course, there are detractors and there are people that are very angry with me. I do receive a lot of support, and I feel like there's a lot more support than people realize because a lot of people are so afraid to say what they think and say what they believe. Everyone's so frightened right now.
And so you're supposed to be completely closed down. The health authority has closed you down and issued you uh, a stack, I guess, of summonses. When is your first chance to appear and answer to these summonses?
I had a hearing last Friday, April
Mhm.
30th, over the phone, and for my S-22 order, which is my um, there aren't that many of those in Ontario. I believe like 10 or so. Um, but I had my first hearing on Friday, and it just basically got remanded for 3 weeks. So we'll meet again over the phone in 3 weeks to talk more.
To talk more, and I guess the government's position is there's really not all that much to talk about. You just need to be closed, and everybody can buy what they need at Walmart.
Basically. Mhm.
Now, what do you intend to do? Sounds to me like you intend to keep fighting.
I will keep fighting. Most definitely. I am staying open. I'm open now. And I feel like I have no choice, that I have to do this. I know that what I'm doing is right. I have to continue doing this, not just for me, not even for me really, but for everyone else, you know, for these poor kids that aren't in school, you know, and all of my friends and customers who own restaurants and hairdressing shops and aren't able to do any business right now.
Alexandra's just trying to stay open and she's trying to provide for her customers and she's trying to do the moral thing. And that's oppose a bad law when maybe other people aren't in the position to oppose it or don't feel like they are strong enough to oppose the full force of the government. And that's why we're happy and proud to be helping Alexandra as she stands up to Ontario Premier Doug Ford's lockdown destruction of the small business community in Ontario. If you'd like to help us, help Alexandra of Stewart's Decorating in North Bay, Ontario, and the roughly 1,200 other people and businesses and churches that we are helping fight their lockdown tickets in court at no cost to them through fightthefines.com. You can donate at that special website I just mentioned, fightthefines.com, and donations there now qualify for a charitable tax receipt through the registered Canadian charity, the Democracy Fund. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. If you'd like to help us help the roughly 1,200 people and businesses and churches and pastors that we're helping fight lockdown tickets in court at no cost to them, please donate today at fightthefines.com. And donations there now qualify for a charitable tax receipt through the Democracy Fund, a registered Canadian charity working to advance civil liberties of Canadians.